Hi, I'm Erin Rigetti. I'm here with Partnering 360 Insight. We're here at Biotech Showcase 2016, and today was Digital Health Showcase. I'm here with Jay Goldman. He's the Managing Director of Sensei Labs at Klick. Welcome.
Thank you, Erin.
So, first of all, before I go into today's program, Klick is the world's largest independent health agency.
Right.
Tell me a little bit about your mission, with regard to healthcare and digital health and how those work together.
Sure.
Okay.
So we partner with life science companies, whether that's biotechs, biopharma, med device, really anything under the life science banner. And we're really a commercialization partner for them. So we'll help, in the case of a biotech or biopharma company, recruiting into phase 1 and phase 2 trials from a digital perspective. We'll often augment their investigator sites or their CRO in terms of the recruiting that they're already doing, but focus on the digital channels. As the drug makes it through trials and commercialization becomes something that's starting to come up on the horizon, we'll partner with those companies to help them start to develop a go-to-market strategy, understand the market both from a professional and a consumer perspective, develop their go-to-market strategy, their brand strategy and brand planning, the actual brand itself, and then all of the marketing assets that follow that across the whole omni-channel universe. And we tend to put a focus on digital first. That's definitely become the primary channel, both on the professional and consumer side, but we pay attention to all the channels that they might need to address, whether that's printer out of home or even TV. Those are all sort of pieces of the puzzle that we'll put into place with those companies as we start to figure out what their go-to-market strategy should look like.
Okay, so for instance, a typical biopharma company, they would enlist your services to reach their target patient audience, or?
Right, and the professional audience as well. Depends on what they're looking to accomplish and what their drug is in the disease state and all that kind of thing.
Right.
We might help them early with enrollment into clinical trials. That's become a very hot topic because as companies get into more and more orphan states and rare states, it's harder and harder to find patients. And so the sites may no longer be able to do it, or the CRO is often not as savvy with digital as they are with some of the other channels that they recruit from. And so the challenge becomes, how do we find patients in a timely fashion? Every minute that we can accelerate enrollment into the trial and hit our enrollment targets, the faster we can get through the trial, the faster we can bring the drug to market. So if we can help to augment that activity and we can help to hit those enrollment targets faster, then everybody wins. In the downstream effect of that can be significant on when the drug gets to market, it gets in the hands of physicians or pharmacies, it's able to actually make an impact on patients' lives.
Yeah, I mean, and patients, that's where they live, right, in social channels,
Right.
And it's tapping right into, their needs. Now, taking a different tack, can you tell me about the steps forward? So that's more like dealing with, I think that I read it to say like caregiver burnout. You developed a program, is that right?
Yeah, we've, with our partnership with the American Medical Association, and we've developed a program with them called Steps Forward, which is partly around how we help physicians to be re-engaged in the practice of medicine. In many cases that's changed over the years. It's gone from being really that primary care physician who people trusted, who they came to for advice. And I think a lot of physicians these days are feeling some burnout around how they practice medicine. And so the AMA, as their association, has created some education material and some efforts to help those physicians to become re-engaged in the practice of medicine, to be excited about it again, to find that love that they probably started off with at the beginning and may have lost over time.
Oh, so that's interesting. That's another connection for biopharma, for healthcare to, use the digital arena.
Right.
So what differentiates Klick from other digital healthcare marketing companies?
I think probably the marketing piece of that. We are really the birth, the product of the marriage between an agency and a technology company. We've been an agency for a long time. We've done a lot of the marketing work, and in that case, we would compete with many of the other agencies that are out there. But we are also at heart a technology company, and so we have a very large technology team. We build a lot of very large systems for our clients, whether internal or external. We are right out at the forefront of digital health in our partnerships with Viva or with some of the leading websites and digital properties that are out there, and it gives us an inside edge on shaping what the future of digital health will look like from that practice. So we're able, I think, to bring that perfect marriage of agency marketing savvy but also the technology side that's increasingly important. And when you start to get into things that are outside of just building a website, so whether that's a really cutting edge interactive visual aid for field sales reps or MSLs in the field on the Viva platform, and we're very close partners with Viva, or whether you're talking about interactive virtual reality for patient education materials or physician materials that you might have at Congress, or the use of those to communicate mechanism of action or mechanism of disease, you get beyond what a typical agency can comfortably cover from their own technology perspective, and you need that really heavyweight, heavy lifting technology chops that we can bring to bear. So I think in how we would compete with a traditional marketing agency, that really comes to play. But then if you put that into the context of our broader commercialization partner, we're able to put in context where the marketing piece needs to happen, but also the bigger piece around clinical trial recruiting, around go-to-market strategy development, brand planning, all of those other building blocks that fit into that comprehensive commercialization strategy.
So you really can, your target is really just working with any type of company, whether it be pharma or a smaller startup.
Sure.
Yep. You've been in the biotech and digital information space yourself for quite a while, I read. Tell me about your background and how you got into the digital health arena.
I come from the digital side, so my background is really on the technology side, whether as part of startups or building startups or growing technology companies. I joined Klick a little over 5 years ago, and that was really my introduction to the life science space. But I think there's a thread that runs through everything that we do as a commercialization partner, as an agency, where the work that we do in this space is so rewarding and meaningful for our people. And if you think about the average person who might work in an agency, so think about somebody like a web developer or a creative director, they could really be applying those skills to anything. They could be in another marketing agency in a completely different industry selling breakfast cereal or consumer electronics or whatever it might be, or they could be building the new startup that's got a new social network or something like that. In all of those cases, they're not meaningfully contributing to the fight against cancer or multiple sclerosis. And so for our people who have often had some personal contact with one of those diseases, everybody's lost a relative to cancer, or had a relative who's gone through one of the terrible diseases that our industry tackles. This is a chance to be able to contribute and give back to that. And that's really what I found in my own experience of being part of the digital health space. It's an opportunity to apply a set of skills that might not otherwise have bearing on the fight against cancer in a way that can actually meaningfully impact people's lives.
There's definite need for this kind of expertise in your kind of company, for sure. It's the future, right?
We think so.
Well, it's been great talking to you today. Thanks a lot.